Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be doing a review of a Korean TV show called Bring On the Ghost. And yeah, I recently got into the show. It was on Netflix, and I do like to watch a lot of K-dramas here and there anyway. I'm gonna take my glasses. I was getting a bit too much light going in my glasses. Oh my god, I can't see now. I can sort of see. Okay, I can sort of see anyway. But yeah, I recently found this show on Netflix, and I was like, let's just check out the show. And I was, yeah. So sorry, I'm just like, does this not any good at all? Yeah, I'm still recording. But yeah, I recently checked out the show. I was like, I could just watch the show. I could just, I actually didn't think it would be as good as it actually turned out. I literally just thought it would just be like a time pass sort of show. It'd be like funny here and then. It's just more of a time pass show. But I didn't know. I wasn't expecting myself to properly get into it as much as I did, and I actually really enjoy this show. It's from all the way in 2016 it got shown, and I was really, yeah. So yeah, 2016. That's when it came out. The show did, and it just had it had 2 seasons, but there's only like season 1 on Netflix currently. And I actually really got into it. I was just like, oh my god, this is actually much better. Like, they actually really made an effort with the show and everything. And what happens is basically, if anyone's not watched the show, there is spoilers. There's quite a few spoilers in this video, and if you, so I'd warn you of the spoilers. If you don't want to, you don't want anything to be spoiled for yourself, then I'd suggest just watch the show. It is actually a good show. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed the show, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. The story is basically about a Bong Pao, his name is, if I'm saying, sorry if I'm saying his name wrong. His name is Bong Pao, and he can see ghosts since he was a child. And and of course, as a child, he was like a bit of an outcast because, because of what he, basically what he's got, his ability to see ghosts and everything. It did get in the way of everything. Well, a lot of things in life. So he's always been like an outcast. And then so he's got the ability to see ghosts, and then he starts doing exorcisms. Yeah, like kind of like exorcisms with his 2 friends from he's studying at uni at the same time. And he's got two friends at uni. They're like his seniors. Yeah, they're like his senior. Yeah, he calls them seniors anyway. You'd barely know what their names are because he's literally just calling them senior most of the time. Oh my god, my shoulders look so hinged. Oh my god, I can't even see from here. God, that is awful. Huh? Cover the shoulders. But yeah, so yeah, so with him with the his 2 uni friends are just like gonna basically have started a business of just getting rid of ghosts, and wherever they can find ghosts, they're gonna go to. It's just mainly the 2 friends that are doing it at the beginning. The 2 senior, like he calls them senior. Them 2 are doing it at the beginning more, and then they ask him to go to school as well. So he goes to school, and then he bumps into Hyunji. Hyunji. Sorry if I'm saying the name wrong. I'm so rubbish with pronouncing anything, to be honest. And then he bumps into her there, and she's actually a ghost. Hyunji is, and she like literally like bars him when he gets there, and that's how they both meet. And then she's just like lost her memory. She doesn't know how she become a ghost. She's like literally completely lost, and then realizes he can see ghosts. Of course of course she realizes he's the only human that can see ghosts, and then she comes to the decision just to like follow him around. And he's like, oh no, please do not follow me around, leave me alone, leave me alone. And then she's like following him, annoying the life out of him, and because she just wants to like find a way to just like find out how she died basically. And because she's kind of like just wandering around in this world of like between heaven, between earth, she's just in between both, just wondering what's happened. She don't remember what happened, how she died, nothing. And she's been wondering for a while, and then she just wants to find out with his help. And then eventually he like warms to her and becomes her friend slowly. Then eventually like they become lovers and everything, of course. And then like of course and then of course with what gets revealed at the end is just such an interesting interesting story. So of course Bong Pao's had this guy who's like a monk who's looked after him all his life as well, and he just, yeah, was just there for him. And he basically finds out about that he can see Hyunji, she's been like around his flat, and then he finds out that Bong Pao's been talking to a ghost, and then of course the monk's already aware that he can see ghosts, and then he's just like warns somehow he like knows he can feel the monk can feel ghost presence, so he knows she's there, and then he says, I know you're here, just like stay away from him, you know, I want him to live a normal life, you know, it's not normal if he's like, you know, in a relationship with a ghost sort of thing, which is quite sad. And he's like, no, don't do this, you know, you just love them together all this time. Especially I love, you know, the episode when they go on holiday with the uni friends, and a girl that's in his class, and Hyunji, like, you know, follows along of course as a ghost. And then like when they go on holiday, I think that was like actually a really good episode. I thought it was really funny, that episode was. And yeah, all these moments they had together, and I just think like the Bong Pao and Hyunjin have just literally, those two actors playing those characters just had such brilliant chemistry. Like chemistry is such a big thing for me as well. Like, you know, I just have to, like, if someone's playing like friends, lovers, you know, enemies, like, you know, in acting I just think it's just so important just to have the right chemistry as well. And yeah, that's all that matters to me. Just have good chemistry, and these two in this show just got absolutely brilliant chemistry. Like, oh my god, it's just so cute. And you're just like, no, stay together, stay together. But of course, with a bunch of events happening, oh yeah, and don't forget the professor that's like stalking them. And yeah, what comes to reveal at the end that he's actually, you know, the evil ghost that, you know, got possessed out of Bong Pao's body, which is so, like, you know, such an interesting story. And then the evil ghost, and then he's like took over another human's body, and that's that professor who's this uni professor basically, and he just is of course following him, and then he's related to Hyunji's, you know, it's just so interesting how he turned out to be related to Hyunji's, basically, yeah, how she basically passed away, basically how she, yeah, what happened with her and everything when she, you know, in the accident. Well, he obviously attempted to kill her, didn't he? And it's just so interesting how that just comes to reveal at the end, and it comes to reveal she's actually been in a coma for 5 years. I was like, oh my god, that's brilliant. So she's not even like properly a ghost, she's just in a coma, and the spirit just left the body, and then she finds her way back to her body, and then sadly, like, of course, you know, she forgets a memory of her in the period she was a ghost. She like completely forgets her memory, and then Bong Pao sees her at the hospital every day because she's still at the hospital anyway, and he still sees her, and then he just like kind of rekindles their relationship again. And it's just like, I just love the show. I just thought it was such a brilliant show. Great chemistry between the main two characters. And actually, I just think there's great chemistry between everyone on the show, like the actor playing Bong Pao and the monk, and chemistry between him and the two friends, and even like the enemy who's a professor. Like, everyone just had great chemistry with everyone on this show. It just seemed like they actually really got along, and I was so upset when I watched the last episode recently, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm actually upset this is finished. This show is better than I thought. It's definitely not a time pass show. I actually thought it was a brilliant show. The only thing I'd say is, like, of course, few scenes here, like one scene did make sense was when she wakes up from a coma, Hyun-ji does, and the professor tries to kill her in the hospital, and I'm like, that, like, come on, there'll be hospitals there. Like, he's trying to like strangle her in her room by herself in the hospital. Like, someone would have saw him go in, or some cameras cameras would have picked it up. Like, you do think that, and you're just like, oh, what, you know, come on, there would have been a security better than that, unless it's trying to show that hospital security isn't that great, unless the show is trying to show that. And yeah, and I say that part didn't make sense. I was like, oh, come on, it's got to be security. But, you know, like I said, they could just be showing there's not good security at the hospitals. And of course, you know, like, the makeup on the ghost isn't the best, and the action scenes aren't really the greatest when they do like take on the ghost. They're just like more funny than being good action scenes. But I don't think that's the show's fault. A lot of time, you know, a lot of TV shows around the world don't get as much budget, so they have to work with what they have. And I think, you know, they just work with what they have on this show, and I just think the acting was brilliant from everyone. Like, the comedy moments, like, so many people just providing just such good comedies as well. Like, you know, like the two best friends, I mean the two friends he's got in uni are just hilarious. Like, oh my god, such brilliant actors as well. And then Hyunji is such a funny character. Like, you actually really love her character because she's just so cute. Like, she's just like, just as a ghost, she's like wandering and lost for years, but she still just stays so happy. Like, you just like, oh my god, you just like could learn from her and just to like seize every moment, enjoy every moment, and you know, you just love her character. And then like the main character, like Bon Pao, you can actually relate to as well. Like, you know, why he doesn't trust people as easily because he's just seen enough, like seen ghosts all his life, and what happened with his mom and his dad. You know, he doesn't trust people, so you can't blame him for just keeping himself to himself and not really talking to many people. You know, like most people suck anyway, so can you blame him? So you can relate to him as well. Like, he's just feels like such a real normal person. And yeah, and I just love, and the monk, brilliant guy. That actor playing the monk, he's in Kingdom as well, a show on Netflix that me and Luke are currently watching. Another K-pop drama. Oh, not K-pop. I mean, another Korean drama as well, Kingdom, which is like a zombie show. And he's the actor who's playing the monk is on there, and he's such a good actor. Like, he's like doing comedy, but then he could do serious as well in Bring on the Ghost, and that's what's brilliant about him as well. He's a bit of both. Then in Kingdom, he's like proper serious, like, oh my god, like proper serious role he's in, and it's just so interesting. He's just such a good actor, and I'm guessing this actor must be in like Korean movies as well, and so many Korean dramas. So I'm guessing, yeah, he's in a lot of stuff anyway. He's just so brilliant. I just loved him on the show, and the villain, I think he was amazing. Like, the actor playing him, such a good actor. I think he's just played a brilliant villain, and you know, he just fit the role perfectly. And of course, at the beginning, you don't know he's a villain, but you obviously you do get the hint when the dog bites him, because dogs don't usually like bad humans, so you kind of get the hint from there. But I did sort of get the hint that he was a villain, but it does come out in after a few episodes that he is, because he keeps on, like, you know, when he starts, like, it slowly builds into it when you see him doing the nasty stuff he does, you know, to the poor cat. Like, how could you do that to a cat? That's horrible. But yeah, he was a brilliant actor too, and I just think there's many, just such a good, it's like a small little cast, but they just make this show like work, and you just enjoy every moment. I don't think the show dragged in one bit. Sometimes that can happen with shows towards the end, they can usually drag, or in the middle they drag, but this show, just 16 episodes, nothing dragged. Everything was just like, no scenes were drawn out, you know, I was just never bored. And that's what I like. You just never want to be bored while you're watching anything. So nothing dragged, and it was just a great story, very interesting story. And I just loved their chemistry. I just loved how all the characters just worked so well together. And there's just so many funny moments as well. And oh, like, I just like, yeah, just so many funny moments, so many happy moments, so many sad moments as well. And you're like, oh my god, like with the funny ghost, she, like, you know, the other funny ghost that she meets as well, who, like, the other ghost who just clings to men all the time as a ghost. Just like, oh my god, like, it's just, they just put some brilliant characters in this show, and I enjoyed it. So I definitely recommend watching this show if you just want a bit of emotion, if you want like laughter, emotion at the same time, and you know, just a bit of like, yeah, and very realistic at the same time, you know, the show is too. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'd recommend. That's what I'd recommend. Just if you want all of that in one show, then I definitely suggest watching this show. Because I'm already into like horrors and stuff anyway. I love watching, like, you know, ghosts, vampire, zombie stuff. But with zombie stuff, I'm very picky though. Like, it depends what it is. Like, Train to Busan was a brilliant film, and another zombie film I watched. I don't. It was a British zombie film, which was actually, that wasn't a good zombie film, but I'm very picky with zombie films, so some are just not that good. But yeah, I'm proper into vampires, like ghosts, zombies. You know, I love horror. I absolutely have loved horror since I was a kid. So that's the reason, like, I do love watching like the random stuff on Netflix where it's like the ghost related stuff, and that's the only reason I picked this show, because I thought this show would be, Bring on the Ghost would be another time pass show, and then I was wrong. It was actually a really nice show, and it's just such cute scenes between the main characters, and I'm just like, oh, it's just so cute. And not to mention how beautiful this food looks on the show. Like, you know, Bon Pao, he can really cook. Like, he's literally the perfect husband anyway, so he can He can like literally cook, and then like you just see him like make all these nice meals on the show for her. She likes to eat anyway. Even as a ghost, she just can't stop eating. Yeah, you just see it. You just see him do that, and you're like, oh my god, how cute is he? He's literally the perfect husband, and the food just looks beautiful. And I'm like, oh my god, I wish I could just cook like that. Ah. But yeah, I warn you about the nice food. There's really nice food as well that they make on the show, and it'll make you hungry. Don't watch the show hungry. But yeah, if you enjoy this video of my little tiny review of Think of the Ghost, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe both to both mine and Luke's channels, and turn on the notification bell, as Luke's a big part of my channel and he helps me a lot in my videos as I'm rubbish with technical stuff. I'll admit it right here and there. And and of course follow us on our Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and what's the other one? Twitter. Follow us on all our social medias. I'll put the links below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna try to catch you on some more shows and films, and I definitely want to do more reviews like this as well, because I've not for a while done them, so I just like enjoy doing them as well. So I definitely want to focus on them as well. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. See if I can see. Can I see? Oh my god, I can sort of see. Oh sorry, you have to see my big face.